Hey everyone, and welcome to my walkthrough for the very first phase of the Dragonsong's Reprise Ultimate. This is going to be fighting both Sir Grino and Sir Adelphel. This is going to be our door boss fight, because we do get a checkpoint after this one, sort of, but not really. But you'll see that when you see the entirety of the rest of the fight as well. There is a mechanic that will be coming back later into the fight as well, which is why we're going to be doing things a certain way, but I'll talk about that when we get there. Now, first thing that we want to do is we want to be pulling both of the bosses to the middle. You'll want to have one tank on each. I'm going to be referring to these bosses as the Paladin and the Warrior, because that is exactly what they are. Starting off, we get a Holiest of Holy coming from our Paladin. This is going to be a raid-wide AoE, so just put up some mitigation for that. Happens incredibly early, so you can just pre-shield and all of that good stuff. Following this, there is going to be a Tank Buster, which will be indicated with a Tether, which is this thing that you'll see me pick up right here. And then we also get Empty Dimension being cast by our Warrior. Empty Dimension has two different variations. You have the Empty Dimension and you have Full Dimension. The difference is in or out. The first one is always going to be in save, the second one is going to be random, but in this specific pull we ended up getting the other version, so you'll see what that looks like as well. So what you do here, you have one of your tanks pick up the tether, use cooldowns or an invuln. There's only two tank busters in this phase, so honestly I would just recommend you use invulns on both of them, and then you can use your cooldowns to mitigate auto attacks, because honestly this fight hurts a lot. Your healers will thank you for it. And then make sure that everybody is here, so Empty Dimension goes out, the Tank Buster goes out as well. This does do multiple hits, so if you have a Warrior that you need to heal, wait until the final hit of the Tank Buster goes out before you start healing him, because otherwise all your healing is going to waste. Also, another thing to note is that in the beginning of the fight, you'll want to focus down the Paladin, because he's going to be jumping away, so you have less uptime on him, which is why you'll see that he's almost dead already. It's because we all focused him down. So here we're going to be spreading out a little bit. Our Paladin's going to jump away and our Warrior is going to do Dimensional Slash. Now this will do a few things. It will put 4 markers on 4 random players. We had them go to the north side of the arena. The other 4 stay on the south side. Those are going to be getting a shared cleave. Now on top of that, the laser beams that we are going to be getting on the marked players will also leave behind some sort of a black hole that you also have in the vault dungeon. If you get too close to that black hole, then bad things will happen. So we got a first set of laser beams. Now we move into the north and the south side spreads out. They get laser beams. And as you can see, we also get a group share here. And then as you can see, we also have the black holes forming around the arena. Now the positioning of these black holes is very deliberate, because if the Paladin, who is going to be coming back to the arena now, comes too close to these, they will explode, deal raid-wide damage and also give you a damage down. So that is why they are in the positions that they are. As long as you stand in the middle of your marker, as you can see them right here, they should be in the correct position. All you need to do here, find out where the Paladin is going to be dropping. So as you can see, he dropped on the east side of the arena, and we are going to be moving to the opposite side because he is going to be doing a zigzag pattern. So either he's going to be jumping from north to the right, to the left, down, and then back up, or he is going to go left, right, down, up. That's all he can do. The only thing we care about is the first dash he makes. If he goes to the left, we go to the left. If he goes to the right, we go to the right. Together with this, we have our Warrior doing another Fate Unmoving, so that's a knockback. You can use your arm's length or surecast on this if you want to do so. And our Paladin is going to do another Holiest of Holy, so raid-wide AoE. So as soon as that happens, I'm going to be pulling the boss towards south, and then we're going to look at where our Paladin is dashing. Paladin dashes to the left, meaning we also go to the left. The safe spot for this entire mechanic is going to be the tip of this little arrow that you can see. So you see this arrow right here on the map. The tip of that is going to be your safe spot for the entire mechanic. So because he goes to the left, we go to the left, we stand on the tip of the arrow, and we're gonna be safe here. Now everybody stays here except the other tank that was tanking the Paladin, because the Paladin is coming back into the arena and is going to basically dive onto that tank. That is where we use our second tank invuln, as you can see right here on the left. He just jumped onto my Dark Knight. Right after this, the Paladin is going to try to clemency the Warrior. It's called Holiest Hallowing, I believe. And this needs to be interrupted. So you can use a silence on this, interject for the Paladins. I think it's called Head Grace for the ranged, I'm not entirely sure. But basically, say who is going to be silencing this, make a priority system. This happens 3 times in the fight. So just interrupt that one. Then we're going to be pulling both bosses to the middle. Now a little tip right here, if you're a warrior, and this is only for warriors, make sure that you turn off your inner release, because inner release comes up here, but now we have a 15-second knockback prevention, so I would highly recommend you make a macro that says /status off inner strength, and then that will get rid of the knockback prevention, because we actually want to be knocked back here. So again, a couple of things are going to be happening here. Players are going to be getting PlayStation buttons, as we like to refer to them now. We're going to get knocked back, we're going to get chained together, and we're also getting individual AoEs. Now, first things first, the PlayStation buttons. We have color-coded markers. As you can see, all of our markers are opposite to each other for the same color. So all we need to do is move to those colors and we'll be fine. The only thing that's different is that the green PlayStation button is going to be going to the yellow markers. Everybody else has color codes. On top of that, technically this is like semi-random, so tanks can only get purple and blue, healers can only get blue and green, and DPS cannot get blue. I believe that's how it is. But honestly, just do a light spread, adjust to each other. That has worked fine for my group so far. You also want to be close in the middle when this mechanic spawns, because the closer you are when the tethers spawn, the less far away you need to go from each other to break the tethers. So just make it easy on yourself and stack together in the middle of the arena. Then you'll move to your colors. So as you can see, everybody is going across. We're then going to get knocked back. We break all of our tethers. Don't gap close back to the boss just yet. Wait for the AoE to go out. All the AoEs go out. And now we move back into the middle. We have another holiest hallowing over here, so make sure that you silence that paladin as this is going on as well, and then pull both bosses back into the middle. Now here we have another holiest of holy, so raid wide AoE, put up some mitigation, and we're getting another full or empty dimension. Again, empty dimension is in, full dimension is out. This case it's going to be full dimension, so we are going to be moving out, and then you can briefly see the AoE here as well. There we go. And after this AoE there is one last clemency, so get ready for your final silence. And then we've basically seen all the mechanics. There will be one more holiest of holy, and then we have the enrage of the bosses. Now once you kill one of the bosses, the other will also cast an enrage, so make sure that you kill them both around the same time. And then we go into the final phase of this mechanic. What you'll want to be doing here is you'll want to try and get Sir's Charibert as low as possible before he finishes Pure of Heart. The higher he is, when he casts this attack, the more damage that you will be taking. All you need to do is have one person survive this entire mechanic, and then you have a checkpoint at Thornton. So a few things are going to be happening here. First of all, everybody is going to be chained to the boss in the middle. Basically, just don't leave the circle. As long as you stay inside the circle, you'll be fine. Now, what's going to happen here is Horsefant is taking a spear to the face. Every time this spear pulsates, it does rate by damage, so your healers make sure that you keep people alive. On top of that, Sir Charibert is going to be doing cleaves on the 2 closest people to him. So if you're taking a cleave, make sure that you stand well inside of his hitbox. If you're not taking a cleave, try to stand a little bit max melee to make it easier for the people baiting. Once you've taken a cleave, you also get a light debuff, and once that debuff expires, you'll leave behind a puddle, and that puddle will explode after a few seconds. Now, to make it easier on ourselves, and also to make it easier for the second time that we do this phase, because this phase will come back later into the fight as well, we have our healers go first, then our melees, then our ranged, then our tanks. This allows our healers to get rid of their mechanic as soon as possible so that they can focus on healing later, and our tanks go last so that they can use a tank LB3 the second time that we see this phase. So that is something that you'll see when we get to here again later down the line into the fight. So we have our healers going first. There are going to be the first set of cleaves, as you can see right here. Then our healers are going to be moving to the back of the arena to drop their puddles. So they're going to be moving along. Now our melees are getting in position to bait their cleaves. Melee cleaves go out. The healers drop their puddles. Then our melees are gonna stand close to the boss to drop their puddles so that they never have to care about where the healers drop there. That is why we alternate between melee and ranged classes. So healers move back in. We have our ranged taking the cleaves. Our melees drop their puddle. Again, the ranged are gonna move to the back of the arena to drop theirs so that they do not have to care about where the melees drop their puddles. And then our tanks are going to be dropping their puddles. So we take our cleaves, and then we drop our Puddles as well. But honestly, as long as one person survives, you're going to be fine here. So if you want, go ahead and kill the rest of your party. Again, that is something that you can't do the second time around you see this mechanic, because people do need to stay alive. But if you've made it past the mechanic, then Thornton will spawn, you get a checkpoint, and you can just wall it and restart from Thornton. So that's going to do it for phase 1 of the Dragonsong's Reprise Ultimate. If you have any more questions about it, then feel free to leave a comment down below. But with that, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank my Patreons for their support, and I'll see you in the next one.